Hello, everybody. It's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. How are you today, my friends? I hope that you had a fantastic weekend, and I hope that you are looking forward to today's Make It Monday project. Now, it is not just a Make It Monday project. Because today is the last Monday of the month, we're also doing the Stampers Showcase Blog Hop. Yay! I am so excited about the blog hop. You know, I love this blog hop. We have such a good time. We have fabulous themes. The projects are always gorgeous, and the designers, the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that are a part of the blog hop are absolutely fantastic. So I know that you love the blog hop too, because the views go through the roof. You love to share it, so I want to encourage you to do that as well. Of course, I'm going to have the link down in the description below, so that it'll be very easy for you to click on the link and go straight to my blog, where you can take off with the blog hop and go all the way around. You're going to love it. This month's theme is babies and children, and today's project is this absolutely adorable Welcome Little One card. Now, I used the Animal Outing stamp set for this project, and I gotta tell you, I love this stamp set because not only does it have these absolutely adorable little animals on it, but it has fantastic sentiments that you can use for a lot of different occasions. Now, we're using Welcome and Little One to make a baby card, but there's Thank You Big Time. There's Together We Make a Great Pair, Wild About You. So you can do a Valentine's Day little sweet smoochy card. You can do a thank you card. You can do a friendship card. So this stamp set is actually very versatile. All right, so we're using the Animal Outing, and then we're also going to use the Birthday Background stamp set. I'm using this little stamp right here because I love the hearts, the stars, and the little starburst. Okay, so that's the background that you see, just to give us a little bit of texture to keep it from being too plain. So we've got that. Now, I've done a little bit of stamping ahead. Today's project we're going to do with Balmy Blue instead of the Blushing Bride, which I used here. So we're going to do a little boy card to go with our little girl card. So I'm using Balmy Blue. So my card base is the standard 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4, and this is gray granite. I love using this color for the Animal Outing cards because it's just fabulous. So, card base, and then our Balmy Blue card layer is 4 1/4 by 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. So we have that layer. And then I also pre-cut these little embellishment pieces out of the smallest circle and scallop circle of the layering circles dies. All right, now you guys know my table's a bit wonky and it shakes and shimmies, so I want to pre-cut some of this stuff ahead of time so it doesn't make you seasick. So I have the little Balmy Blue, and then I've already pre-stamped the Welcome Little One because my early espresso ink is really juicy right now. So I didn't want to smear it, okay? But what you're going to do, believe it or not, as you can see from the stamped image, with the smallest circle framelit, you actually can get the Welcome and Little One both stamped in that little circle. Isn't that crazy? It blew my mind. I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but it totally worked, and I loved it. Okay, so now I've got that pre-stamped. I'm going to set it off to the side. And then I also pre-stamped the kangaroo because I wanted it to dry a little bit so I can show you how I color it with Stampin' Blends, okay? So what I used are the Crumb Cake combo and the Smoky Slate combo, all right? Now, the Smoky Slate combo is for our fabulous little koala bear, okay? So I'm going to just take the darker of the Smoky Slate and I'm going to color his nose. Just like so. And then I'm going to take the lighter and I'm going to color everything else. All right. Now I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm coloring very lightly because the alcohol blends kind of spread a little sometimes. So you just need a really light hand. I'm just lightly dabbling the color on. That's also preserving my ink too. I'm not using up as much as I would be if I were really, really putting some pressure on it. Okay. Now for the kangaroo, I'm going to use the darker of the crumb cakes to color his nose, or her nose rather. I'm going to go ahead and all of these little shadowy areas that are pre-stamped for me, I'm just going to lightly dab on some of the darker color in those spots too. I don't need it to be perfect. I'm just adding a little color there. Nice and easy. And then I like to put a little bit of shadow underneath the koala too, because I like to think that he's looking out, you know, he's excited about the world. So I put just a little bit there. Alright, and now just nice and easy along the shadowy spots. This is going to give us some dimension and color. There we go. And in here. And just a tiny bit on his tail. There we go. Alright. Now, I'm going to take the light one, the light crumb cake, and I'm going to color everything in. Alright. And as I'm coloring, I'm going to focus a little bit of attention on the areas that I've already colored with the darker, so that I can blend the light and darker colors together. Okay, so as you run the lighter color over the darker color, it's going to lift a little of the darker color right there along the edges, so it just kind of makes a nice smooth transition. Okay, and we want that. That's the whole wonderful thing about Stampin' Blends, is that you can blend the colors together. Alright, so we've got that. Let me just work on around here. Now once we get it colored, it doesn't take but a second for it to dry. So once it's colored, you'll be able to go straight on to the Big Shot or whatever your die cutting platform is, and die cut the little koala out and the kangaroo. So let me get this colored here. Notice that I'm not really stressing too much about being really careful. I'm just staying inside the lines, of course, but you don't have to worry too much. The color's really forgiving and it goes on really well, so it makes it easy for you to color with them. Actually makes it really nice to color with them. I love coloring with the Stampin' Blends. Alright, there we go. We're almost finished. Now, another wonderful thing about the Stampin' Blends is that if you decide that you want a little more shadow in one spot or another, you don't necessarily have to go back over it with the darker shade. You can just go back over it with the lighter shade. So let's say, you know, right here is next a little bit lighter, so I'm just gonna go over it again, and you see I've added a little shadow. And how about right here, just a little more. There we go. And then I can bring this in a little bit more, maybe make it just a little darker right there. There we go. And then once it dries, it's fabulous and it's ready to go. Now, I have already cut one of these out as well because, like I said, my table is shaky and I don't want to make you sick. So, okay, we've got our kangaroo